Hey, well, good morning and welcome to another daily devotional. Today we are starting or finishing, I guess I could say, the last 3 chapters of First Samuel. If you've been with us this whole time, I mean, how crazy is that you have read nearly 31 chapters of an Old Testament book? You are doing great. So we're going to do 29, 30, and 31 over the next couple days. I'm excited to do these with you. But today we're looking at chapter 29, which is kind of David's bon voyage from helping out with the Philistines. So he's been there with the Philistines, helping with his men, doing different things, serving the king that is there. And as they begin to go into this one battle, they're heading into battle, and all of the Philistine rulers are heading out, and then they look behind them and they see David and all of his men leading up the rear of the battle, and they're saying, wait, David's coming with us? Isn't this David? And it says, and they even say, isn't this David that they talk about in Israel? That, isn't this the same David about whom women of Israel sing in their dances? Saul has killed his thousands and David his 10,000s. They're like, he's going to kill all of us while he's here. But the king tells them, no. You don't understand. David is the most loyal person I've ever met. And it's really, this whole chapter to me is just a testament of David's character during his season with the Philistines. David had some history with them. He did kind of kill Goliath, who was a Philistine, and he's gone to battle with them multiple times. But there was a season where God had placed him there to serve the king of the Philistines. And if you read time and time again, David refers to him as my Lord in that time, or my master, or my boss, or, you're in charge, man. I'm following you. You're the boss. That David, no matter what his situation in life was, he was always able to follow really well. And that's something that we don't necessarily talk a whole lot about in our society. We talk about leading all the time, but we don't talk about the power that happens when people follow. And David, when he was with Saul obviously wanted to kill him, all kinds of things. And through multiple times, we've seen that David had an opportunity to kill Saul, but he said, no, he's my Lord. I will not hurt him. He's my master. I will not hurt him. And then in this time, we now see him with the king of the Philistines. And the king even says, you've been with me for these years now, and I cannot say one bad thing about you. You have been loyal in every way. And even David asks him, what have I done to deserve this? What have you ever found in your servant that I can't go and fight the enemies of the Lord the king? That he even verbally restates their relationship arrangement. He says, you're the king, I'm the servant, David says. Even though David rightfully is the king of Israel, who goes on to be one of the most powerful rulers ever, he says, no, I'm your servant, King Ashish. I'm your servant. And how many times in our society is that hard for us to do in our jobs, in our workplaces, and even in our marriages, to say, no, I'm going to serve you. What is it that you would like to make the other person more important? Okay, I'm here to serve you. And I want to be, when I'm done with this relationship, when I'm done with this season of my life, when I'm done with whatever's happening here, I want to know that no one finds any fault in me. When you leave your company and go to another company, what's your boss going to say about you? Is he going to be like like the king said with David? Man, I found no fault in Jimmy. He has clocked in on time every day. He has been a faithful servant every single day. At the end of your life, at your funeral, what are people really going to think? Are they going to think, wow, man, he was a faithful man. He was a kind person. He worked very, very hard. In your relationship with your spouse, do you think, wow, my spouse serves me? They're not just all about themselves. They actually care about me. They're even selfless to serve me. And in marriage, you serve each other, right? That concept of being a servant, that David so much so took on the role of a servant in every situation, to not make it about him, but to serve the person that God has placed over him in that season. Each and every one of us right now, God has placed someone over us in a different capacity, whether that's a ministry leader, whether that's your boss, whether that, I don't know who that is, your parent, your teacher, I don't know who that is, that God, for certain seasons, places us underneath different kings. It could be a King Saul, it could be King Ashish, could be different people. And at the end of your season serving that king, what is that king going to say about you? Whether they're a good king or a bad king, what's that king going to say about you? Are they going to have any gripes about you? Or are they going to be like King Ashish and say, wow, I can find no fault in David. He's absolutely trustworthy. He's an amazing man of God. I hope that people say that about you in every relationship that you have, that you're a servant and that people can say you're a person of integrity, that you serve them and that you love them. So I just encourage you today, in every relationship, just recognize, man, I'm going to serve the other person. I'm going to be an encouragement to them so that they can have nothing negative to say about me. So we hope to see you tomorrow as we start chapter 30, and then we finish in chapter 31 this week. So I hope to see you tomorrow.